Welcome to The Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and The Daily Dish.
Just chair dancing. What are you up to today? Hello and welcome. It's Tuesday. We do transformations on Tuesday, don't we? Hey, Jocelyn, good to see you. And come on down, everyone. We are ready for all the big things. All the big things. Right, Marianne? Right, Patsy? So glad to have you all here. There's my girl, Catherine, in the house. So is Eileen, of course. And we've had a lot of people do 4-minute workouts, dancing, singing, all kinds of stuff is happening on the Hot Melt Sprint page. So if you're not a part of it, what the heck, you're missing out. Hi there, Macy. There's my girl, Lucy. We had such a good time last night. You should have been there. Were you there? We got done, and then what did we do? We spent our time chatting and having a really good time. Flynn says she's ready for big things. Well, I hope today's show won't disappoint because I think it's good. Hi there, Corliss. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about how motivation is so transformational. And some of this stuff is so basic, but yet don't we need to hear this stuff? I do. Over and over and over again, because you know what? If you're going to move the needle in your life, you're going to hear some things over. Sometimes you hear things over and over again. Patsy's yelling liver. Listen, we talked about liver last night, and poor Marguerite, she's got a little bit of a migraine. So keep her in the back of your prayer, in the back of your mind and in your prayers. Okay. There's Joanne. We had such a good time. There's Angie. We had a blast last night. Hi, Carol. I was just talking about you. Jama's in the house. So's my girl, Doris. So good to see you all. We did have a fun. We kept talking about liver, and you guys couldn't give it up. I was like, okay, that's enough about liver. Kept talking about it. Couldn't stop. Won't stop. Liver, liver, liver. So it was so. But it was really funny, and we had a blast. Hi, Lily. I'm glad you're here. Kristen, I'm so glad you're here too. But listen, if you want Kristen saying yes over and over again, it was hilarious because it was, I don't know, it's just the dynamic of this group when we get together is just a riot. We're going to have another slumber party coming up. It's going to be a dance party, and apparently, Joanne, #liver, apparently everybody wants to dress up like in 80s stuff, you know, with the hair and the headbands and all of that. So pinkies up if you want to come. You want to get dressed up? You want to do an 80s dance party? I'm game. Why not? Hey, what did you say about me? We were just, Carol crushed her 4-minute workout. We saw it, and she didn't just get up there and say, here it is, this is what it looks like. She did the whole entire thing. You get points for that, Carol. Hey, Juanita, I'm glad you're here. So's Martha. Hi, Jane. I didn't see you. Missed you, almost missed you. I hate to miss people on the way in. But anyway, we had an absolute blast. And Sarah, of course, was being her usual Sarah self. And she decided, hey, we need an 80s party. I'm like all about that. So you betcha, pinkies up. We're going to have some 80s things going on here, right? Who wore it better? I mean, I had the hair. I had all of it. I watched a Prince video this morning. I usually don't do stuff like that, but I love me some Prince. And I was like, it came up as one of my things in my feed. And I went, you know what? Let me just watch a little bit of this. And they showed people in the audience. And guess what? There was the 80s looking right back at me. So it was just hilarious. There's Helen. She was there. Yeah, you know, liver's really good to eat, Jane. Just make sure you have a good source. It is one of the most highly densely nutrient valued foods. That's why it's prized in the wild. You want to see that David Bowie haircut? Oh yeah, I've got it. Let me see if I can find it. If I can find it quickly. The Aquanet. The Aquanet was enough to just absolutely floor you. It is on my Facebook page, and if anybody saw me, I did a dog post today that was just terrible. I did it for my girlfriend. There's Suzanne. Hi, Suzanne. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but there's a picture of me with my hair and the big earrings and everything, and it's just the hair. Just so good. Such Aquanet style. I'll find it. I will post it in the Hot Melt Sprint group. So if you're not a part of the Hot Melt Sprint, you're not going to see my David Bowie haircut. That's all. That's all. There's a little David Bowie in all of us, isn't there? I mean, come on. He was just, he was everything. Here's our quote of the week, by the way. Oh, if you want to go watch and get on our we're doing the Vibrant Body Detox. It's starting next week. And in this webinar, I go through it and tell you why this is not going to be the kind of detox that makes you have to run to the bathroom. It's a supportive, gentle, kind way of doing a detox. We're always detoxing anyway. So that's the whole thing. Hey, Sharon loves 80s. Are you kidding, Sharon? Sharon, now that's a dancer right there. She chair danced she gets extra points for the chair dancing and to a Madonna song nonetheless. So good. And anyway, Darla's in the house too. Good to see you, Darla. Yes, yes, yes. I want you guys to go watch the Vibrant Body Detox video webinar, because here's the thing. You don't have to detox in a way that is going to absolutely turn you inside out. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a gentler, better way to do it, and it's supportive of your body's detoxification systems. It doesn't assault them, right? savingdinner.com/restore. It's also our supplement of the week right here. And when you get the supplement of the week, we are also going to give you the one pot meals, which are phenomenal, fabulous, fabulous collection of recipes. Whatever pot you use to cook, whether it's a crock pot or a sheet pan or a skillet or whatever, and they're all a collection of low carb meals. Someone was asking, are they sprint worthy? Some of them are, and some of them will not be. You just have to be discerning. You guys know that. Do you know the principles, right? What does the target trifecta meal look like? I'm going to quiz you later. Here is a quote of the week. The past is a great teacher, but a horrible landlord. Don't live there. That's my helpful hint of the day. Haven't you noticed that it's just it's crazy living in the past like that? It doesn't do you any good. It costs you everything and it gives you back nothing in return. We like the experience file. That's how we do life. And if you don't know what the experience file is, well, I don't know what to tell you, except it's fabulous. We love the experience file. We have success tools in our shop that I absolutely love. And I've got 3 that I want you to know about. One is our quote deck right here. And you've got a collection of 56 different quotes, all cosmic 2x4s. And look, you get this little stand so you can stick it on your desk and let it do its magic, right? It's doing its magic whether you know it or not, whether you're reading it or not. It's just sitting there doing its thing. So there's psychological reasons behind all of it. And this is what it looks like when it's sitting there on your desk. I love it. I highly recommend it. savingdinner.com/quote. This is our 2nd edition. 3rd edition is going to be coming out. These are getting scarce. Go get it now, right? Also, we have mindful mugs. And our mindful mug can be found at savingdinner.com/mug. What is a mindful mug? It teaches you to be mindful in your eating. It is a trigger. This is the right kind of trigger. This is what you want. It'll teach you all about it in this post and how to get it at savingdinner.com/mug. There's my girl, Sarah. You wrote cosmic 2x4s on your little easel. That's awesome. You do all kinds of really cool things. You know what I just bought myself? Nobody knows this. I'm going to tell you, but I just bought myself some watercolors and a big sketch pad because believe it or not, I do some cartooning. I bet you didn't know that about me. And it's been a while. I haven't done it in a while, but with all this, I've been so inspired with all of our stuff, with all of the beautiful watercolor. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yes. Because this Saturday coming up, it's Take Back Your Life. We're going to do this workshop. And the watercolors have just been so inspirational. And it's all throughout. You'll see it all throughout here. Let me show you if I can find it. Look, like right here. Look at the color. The color doesn't it just do something for your heart? So I bought some stuff. I'm gonna do some stuff. Who knows? You might see it. it might pop up, or it might just be something that I entertain myself with. But our Take Back Your Life journal workshop is coming up this Saturday. If you order your journal, you'll get it in time for this Saturday. We also have another one the following Saturday. Both are 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll have plenty of time for, question and answers and all of that. But I'm going to teach you how to condense your goals into 12 weeks and how to really accomplish them. Not just write them down, not just whatever, but how to really accomplish them. And do I have this? Yes, I do. When you order, you will get this homework page, which is massively important, because when you're prepared and you're ready, have you noticed how much better you perform on all these different things and how much better you feel about them? Oh, yes. Yes. So go to savingdinner.com/journal. Two things. One, I will sign it personally to you. Secondly, we will send it out priority mail so you have it in time. Deal? Let's get this done, because honestly, I'm telling you, this is the transformational tool that we all need in order to get this done. When it's written down, something different happens in your head. When you're using pen to paper, there is something that's getting wired into your brain. This is everything. This is everything. Sarah's saying, who's going to find a way to work liver and onions into the journal discussion? You missed the first part of the thing. We had, Joanne was hashtagging liver. We missed the whole thing. It was a riot. Hey, Trisha. So I'm double-fisted drinking right now. I've got, my full bloom cup is full of our tea, and I chilled it overnight. It's so good. And then I've got hot milk mix here, because people always ask, what are you drinking? And I'm like, whatever I can get my hands on. So that's just what's happening right now. All right. So I told you about everything in the supplement of the week. I told you how to go listen to this. We roll through different events, different challenges, and what have you, because we're on a mission, aren't we? Pinkies up. If you're on a mission, we're on a mission. We sprint, and then we go to the next thing, and then we go to the next thing after that. And then all the while, we're still operating in the way that we can take back our lives and create a vibrant path to get the life that we want. That's how we roll. That's why this show is called The Daily Dish, putting vibrancy back into your life, heart, mind, body, and soul. All of it just works. Look at my pinky girls. There they are. Hi, Shell, I see you. I missed you just a minute ago. There's Terry. Mission-oriented. Exactly. Look at everybody. Mission-oriented. Are you kidding? You should see these women. They're incredible. And you know what? That rising tide is lifting all the boats. Everybody's doing it. Isn't it fun to be part of a group of women, not a bunch of mean girls, but a group of women who've got each other's backs, who care, that create this community? Because, the only thing I did was open the doors. You guys are the ones that created this community. And it's a beautiful thing. I am just utterly grateful. So glad you're here, Marianne. Good to see you. So this week is Mindfulness Week, because mindfulness really is foundational to absolutely everything. There's my girl, Vanessa. I've missed you. Good to see you. Mindfulness is everything. When we're mindful, we are actually the creators of our lives. We're not just going around for the ride. We're not just getting on top of the boat and just saying, oh, I hope this works out. We are the boats. We are part of the rising tide. We are powerful, and we're a force to be reckoned with. That's what happens when we make a decision to be mindful and stop allowing life to just carry us by. It's just, oh boy, get rid of this one. There you go. Hello, Sadie, two pinkies up. Our little Sadie. And by the way, you guys have so supported our Amber. All of a sudden, I'm getting all this mail. And by the way, Amber, I opened one of them by accident. I saw my name and opened it. And then I went, this isn't for me. But anyway, we're getting mail for Amber. And you're supporting her. If you didn't know, their whole RV flooded, and they are a traveling family. This is their home. This isn't a trailer, just something extra sitting in the driveway. This is their home. And it got wiped out. It got just creamed. And you all have been so lovely about this whole thing, and really supportive with her. They've got insurance and all that, and I'm embarrassing the heck out of her right now, but I don't care. But you understand how it is. You've just been beautiful, lovely people. If you want to support our Amber, send in an email to support@savingdinner.com, or actually send it into community@savingdinner.com, and Jenny will get it. Jenny will nab it, and we're going to take care of you. We'll tell you how you can support our Amber. Hey, Jerry, good to see you. Mary's in the house. We do love our Amber. We love our Jenny. We love our people. This is part of the whole thing. We start right at the core and right in the middle. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of going diverting all over. And did I tell you about my son? By the way, speaking of that, and thank you so much, by the way, for praying for my son. Do you remember what I told you that they were saying, oh, it's, it was his elbow, it was the radial head, going to have surgery. It looks really bad, this, that, and the other thing. He gets to the doc. He finally gets to see the orthopedist on Monday. And you know what they said? They said, yeah, it's pretty bad, but you don't need surgery. And as a matter of fact, we're not even going to put it in a cast, or you'll have PT for the next year and a half. They said, what we want you to do is just keep it in that sling. Don't move it. And in 6 weeks, you can start the physical therapy. He goes, Mom, I'm walking around with a busted arm. He is. But that's what it is. And you know what's going out to him today? He's getting perfect paleo protein. Yeah, he already has it, but I'm making sure. I'm told him 2 a day. He's getting beauty support. And those things are going to help. I'm also giving him some InfoCrusher when it comes in. We've got a big batch coming in right now. But that's what's happening. And you know why? Because I want to make sure that he's got the material to help build that back. Not only is it going to give you beautiful skin, but it also helps with stuff like that, healing like that. And I told him to buy bone broth and everything. But thank you for that. Thank you for praying, because I believe that prayers like this all together make everything change. And I know this changed everything. Can you believe that? Oh, God is so good all the time. So I want to, let's steer the ship back. Hey, rising tides, can you come with me? Bring your boats and let's go to this mindfulness thing. Let's talk about it. This can transform our very lives because it connects us to our higher self. It makes us conscious instead of living in the unconscious. Like we talked about with Bruce Lipton in his book, The Biology of Belief, 95% of the time, most people are living in their unconscious, meaning that they're just getting by day after day, and they get into bed and just go, what the heck happened? And I know what that feels like. We all do. But to live a lifetime of this, there was an old movie, Wine and Roses, I think it was, or something, I don't remember. Somebody can tell me what it was. If that's all there is, then let's just keep dancing. Is that all there is? Was the song I remember from it. But right? Is that all there is? Well, I say no, that there's so much more to life that we can, as creators of our own lives, create our own vibrancy. But it's got to start with mindfulness. If we don't have mindfulness, how can we even know to do it? Right? How do we even know to do it? This is why we have the tools for success that we do in our shop. This is why we created the quote deck and the mindful mug, to bring you back to this place so that you remember all this stuff. Not just to do a 7-day sprint, whatever, and there you go, you're done and back to the same old stuff. No, to stay in it, to stay in your life, to be those creators. And when we do this, we get to be women who create their own lives. And that's when it gets really exciting. So the name of this whole topic, if you will, is transformation happens when we accept ourselves. We don't accept ourselves. EXCEPT. Because when we start to accept ourselves, warts and all, then we can go forward. Then we can go mindfully about ourselves. We know things about ourselves. Because unfortunately, a lot of times what we do is we blow up a lot of our flaws, or we dismiss some of the things that we don't want to look at. And we go forward with this distorted view of who we are. And the point is that we're created on purpose, for purpose, by a God who sees us as the apple of his eye, fearfully and wonderfully made, a magnificent creation here on purpose, for purpose. And that should touch you in the depth of your heart. That should make you think, wow, if that's the case, I'm not just here taking up space. I'm not just here breathing a bunch of air. It's not that at all. there's a reason for me to be here. And my goodness, yes, there's a reason for you to be here. And again, it changes season to season. And external things, by the way, it's very temporary. We know that, we know this. We know that this external stuff is temporary. Our houses can burn down. Things wear out. My toothbrush just wore out. I have one of those electric toothbrushes, not the Oral-B, but the other one, and it just wore out. It's sitting in the stand and it doesn't work anymore. And I'm looking at it like, why did you wear out? And it's like, because things wear out, they're not granted eternal life. Things wear out. Things get old. Things die. People die. It happens, it happens. Shelley says, we are princesses, daughters of the king, and should love ourselves accordingly. Amen. And that's why we accept ourselves. We don't accept ourselves. When we're putting ourselves down and dissing ourselves and dismissing ourselves all the time, not only is that an insult to the Creator who made us, but it also diminishes who we are. It diminishes our spirit. It puts down this beautiful selves that we have. It puts it down, and it's super low vibe. Super low vibe. Remember, we want high vibe. And I'm going to just say one thing, sidebar. Go onto YouTube and watch high vibration plates with sand, and watch the beautiful patterns that it makes versus low vibration. This is how God works. He is an energetic being and showing you what energy is about. And don't you feel better when you're way up here? Don't you? Versus way down here into the doldrums, acting like Eeyore, accepting yourself. So if only a lot of our lives, if we go through this whole thing with this regretful tone and this regretful cloud, if only I had what she has, comparison. If only I could, like she does, and more comparison. If only I lost weight. If only I could, if only. And we've got to stop that. Because when we do this, we're literally wiring our brains for this kind of misery. We can do that, you know that? And it's a choice. It is a choice. Oh, good, there it is. There it is. Sand vibrations. It'll flip you out. And I want you to look at, when you're looking at these sand vibrations, it's put right here, the link, it's on YouTube. The link is here in the chat. When you look at it, I want you to think higher vibrations, the beauty is incredible. Lower vibration, not so much. Okay? Just think about that, because we are always, we're vibrating. Everything is energy. Your desk has energy. It's just low or high. This is a big deal to me. And I want you to feel this and understand this. This is impactful for how we do our lives. So the key to stopping this is to literally change your mind. Literally change your mind. When you change your mind and you shift and you go another direction, you get to rewire it. And that's part of it. Because it's not just a matter of saying something cute and, slapping a happy platitude over the top of it. It's a matter of going through, making a decision that is unacceptable. And this is acceptable. This is what I want in my life instead. It's a shift. It's a change. We do goals. We do vision boards, right? We do all of this stuff. We've got our quote decks here. We pick up mugs, and everything reminds us of the beauty of who we are. That's mindfulness right there. And that mindfulness is everything, because that mindfulness moves the needle in every single area of your life when you decide it will. It's just that simple. This is called neuroplasticity. This is how your brain works. And it happens in your brain, and it wires depending on how you use it. You can use it in a real low vibe way if you want to and go down the path of misery, or you can choose a different wiring system. You can go high vibe. High vibe. That's a whole different thing. So we understand what it feels like too, right? To do something wrong physically. Do you know what that is? Has anybody ever just got up and stood up and twisted their ankle, or misstepped and twisted your ankle? You know what that feels like. It hurts. You were trying to take a step and you missed and you whatever, you twisted your ankle. Well, a twisted ankle, we also have twisted thinking. And over a period of time doing that twisted thinking, it's going to handicap the way that you do your life, just as if you constantly are twisting your ankle. At some point, you're going to start limping. And that's exactly what happens when we're using our brains wrongly. And it's done mindlessly. It's not done on purpose. It's not somebody stands up, says, hey, today I think I'm just going to be an absolute doo-doo about my whole life and start thinking these miserable thoughts and mulling them over and over and over again and living in the past and, forget about the experience file. I'm just going to go back to this place. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to live in the past, just like our quote said, miserable landlord, horrible landlord. Yeah, Sarah's right. Neuroplasticity is absolutely fascinating. It's the Oregon Trail in our brain. We've talked about that. The more you go, and if you understand, and in my new book, which is coming up, but in my new book, I talk every single, like you have billions of cells in your brain, and every cell has a pathway. They have 1 to a billion pathways with that one cell. Can you imagine? The workings in our brains are just incredible. But we also have to understand that our brain is our brain. It is our heart, it is our soul, it is the beautiful self that we own that helps to direct it. It's choices that we make. And yeah, we're using our brain the whole time, but we're also taking with us so much more. Have you ever said to yourself, hey, I've got this gut feeling? Well, do you know your gut is involved in that decision making? And when you go against the gut, was the wrong thing to do. Your gut's telling you. They call that a second brain. That's our physiology, y'all. That's our physiology. Isn't it just magnificent? Doesn't it just make you think, wow, I don't know about you, but it blows me away. So we don't want to be twisting our ankles all the time, do we? No, we don't want to be using our brains wrong all the time because that leads to twisted thinking, just like a twisted ankle. So these are some of the things that we want to do, right? This is what we want to do. We want to be aware, but not caught up, because it's just one thing. You can't put on blinders and say, okay, well, I'm just going to pretend that none of this is true. You can't do that, but you need to be aware. The difference in this is mindfulness. You're not aware, you're not getting caught up in it. You're not over emoting, over ridiculously going crazy over something, and instead just taking an observational stance on some of these things. We notice. That's mindfulness. And then we don't want to be unaware and then caught up as well. Being unaware, again, blinders, we don't want any of that. We want to be that's how we play into what's going on in our lives. We do it from a mindful place. We can be aware and notice, and rather than unaware and caught up, because that's what happens so much. So here's the thing. One, we need to notice, right? So don't complain about it. What does that mean? We don't complain about it. We understand that when we complain, we actually shrink the hippocampus of our brains. It does. That's research, y'all. That is science right there. Isn't that creepy? Shrinking your brain shrinks when you complain. So noticing, not complaining, that is being aware and being mindful. And 2, what do we do about this? The other thing that we do about, we ask better questions. We can ask better questions than why me, right? I mean, why me is pathetic. Why me is sad. And why not you? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things. And I'm not dismissing anybody's pain. I'm not dismissing anybody's tragic whatever, but we have to, if we're going to go into the place of living transformationally, we have to do this so that we can be mindful. And then we ask better questions. What if? Can you imagine? What if? What if this happened? What if I did this? Can you imagine? Those things are those are needle movers, because that opens up the gateway to creative solving things. You can't solve things if you're not creative. You can't solve things if you think it's a done deal. You can't solve things if you're caught up in twisted thinking and warped, thoughts. Doesn't help. It just puts you, Debbie Downer, right into that corner. You're not going to do anything. You can't pass go. So there is a story of a bunch of Buddhist monks in Thailand, and they had this huge Buddha that they were trying to move. It was a big clay Buddha, and they were trying to move it from one area to the other. And they had all the monks in the monastery moving them. And the clay started to fall off the Buddha, and gold started to leak, started to show up. And all of a sudden they recognized and they saw that this Buddha was made of clay. So here's the thing that I want you to see from this whole thing is that oftentimes we are hidden treasures from ourselves and from everybody else. I mean, the story goes that basically some army was coming in to seize all the people and treasure, and they put mud all over this Buddha, and it was sat there for so many years that they finally uncovered it when they had to move it and found out that it was gold. And that's what we do. For all these years, we hide under this mud pack, and underneath it all is shiny, beautiful gold, because that's who God makes. God made you the apple of his eye. The apple of his eye. That's how much you're cherished. That's how much you are, more so than a golden Buddha. But think about it. We hide from ourselves, and we're not even mindful enough to even know ourselves because we've hidden it for so long, out of fear, out of being afraid of being recognized or whatever it is. But we are golden. Do you remember that song? It was Crosby, Stills, Nash, we are golden, we are stardust, whatever. But we're fearfully, wonderfully made on purpose and for purpose. We can't get away from that. We just can't. That's just fact. That is fact. And mindfulness transforms our very lives because it connects us to that higher golden self. It connects us to that. So when we remove the facade, the clay, just like that, we allow the preciousness of who we are to shine. And that's everything. That's your true self. That's who you are. And when you're mindful about getting past all of this stuff and being in that shiny place, you're going to start seeing things just a little bit differently. You're going to start looking at yourself as a little bit more precious than just this clay statue over there. So we allow ourselves to shine by becoming aware. And that's the starting place. It has to be the starting place. That's how we work our way into being mindful so that we can turn around and live in mindfulness. Mindfulness is a state of being. And being in that state requires us to evaluate and to look at things and to step into a higher role. It means that we're not going to be just getting through life anymore. It means that we're not going to put off our dreams. It means that we're going to go after them with everything that we've got and see that there's a potential there. There is an ability there. There's possibility there. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yes, it is a cosmic 2x4. Don't we all do this though? We do. This is how we cover up, and it's our fear. That's what that mud is. It's fear. And it's hiding from the world. And I'm saying to you, you don't have nothing to hide from. Nobody is ever going to stand in front of God and say, hey, God, I did everything right. No, ma'am, they're not. We all have stuff that we're ashamed of or we wish didn't happen or we have regrets about. We all have stuff, don't we? Well, if you don't, then you're not human. We've all lived our lives and we've done the best that we can with what we've got. But if we decide to take back our lives and to live with vibrancy, then we step into this place of mindfulness and we remove the clay. Because the clay is going to hide us from who we are, not just to the world, but to ourselves as well. So let's give a recap then, okay? This awareness is the beginning place of and noticing without reacting is the beginning place. But I've got 7 things, just kind of a recap today of what we talked about. And number 1 is we need to accept ourselves and stop accepting ourselves. We accept ourselves out of a vibrant life simply because we don't think we're worthy of it, we don't deserve it, or it's for them, it's not me. Whatever our things are, whatever our reasoning is, stop it. That's just more clay over that golden beauty that is you. So let's accept ourselves. Number 2, can we make a pinky promise on this one? Can we stop if only? If only. If only I blah, 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 blah. If only da, 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 da. If only dot, dot, dot. If onlys are just regretful, heavy statements. And when I hear if only, what I'm noticing from that is a whole deep regret that's being dragged behind that statement like a big ball and chain. That's not vibrant. That is low vibe. Low vibe. If only doesn't work. If only is crap and needs to go in the crap heap. Yeah, pinkies up. Good. Yes, let's do it, ladies. Number 3 is twisted ankles happen because of missteps, and twisted thinking comes from twisted thoughts. It becomes because we're not thinking authentically, about ourselves. We're not living authentically. We're not living true. We're not using our voice in our lives. You know that. We're going through the motions. To have a voice in our lives is to create vibrancy. To create our lives, we have to have a voice. We can't hide behind this mask of mud. We have to allow the gold to shine through. That's how you have a voice in your life. That's how you create vibrancy. Number 4, we need to start asking better questions, right? What's our question? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? What if? What if? What if in a good way, in a very positive way? Not like, what if, we get eaten alive by bears? No. What if? Imagination, stirring the creative pot to allow you to be the creator of your life, the creator of your life. Number 5, we need to start noticing and stop reacting. No hand wringing allowed. Come on. Really way low vibe. What is it accomplishing? If worrying did anything, right, wouldn't we all be rich? It hasn't done a thing. We can't worry. What we need to do instead is like, okay, so what can I do about this? What power do I have in order to conquer this problem? And if you don't have it, and you can't seek it out, then you got to give it up. Yeah, give it up to the one who can take it. His shoulders are way bigger than ours. Number 6, we need to be aware and not caught up. When we're aware, do you know what we see? When we see this awareness, you know what we see with this awareness? We see all the things around us that are going on, and we can say, I will accept this. I will not accept that. I will accept this. I will not accept that. It makes you very choosy. It makes you particular, and it brings you up to your higher self. I love that one so much. And number 7 is being mindful and making a decision to be mindful literally changes your mind. It literally does. It takes practice. It takes doing. It takes creating a day that will help you to do that. It means goals. It means having a daily setup for your life. It means putting them into practice on a daily basis. And we're going to be doing that. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this this Saturday if you're going to be around. I sure hope so. And if you've got your journal, it's going to be epic. We have the ability to have so much more than we even think is possible. And I'm not talking about cars and clothes. I'm talking about the life that we want. The life that we want is just on the other side of a new thought. How about that? It's on the other side of a new thought. You ready to do this with me? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Thanks for joining me today, by the way. And you know what tomorrow is, right? It's it's mindful week all week, but it is Wise Women's Wednesday. So we'll have something cooking up really good for you. If you don't have your journal yet, it is now time to get on top of it. Can we just agree with that? Pinkies up. Go to savingdinner.com/journal. I'll sign it personally to you, and we'll put it in priority mail so you get it. So you're going to get it in time. Yay! What a fun time. This is just good for me. I don't know. I think I wrote this show for me. I needed it. So thank you so much for joining me. If you found any value here, go ahead and share it. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.